Regular City Council meeting to order at 6 o'clock on Wednesday, May 6th. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, looks like we have a few additions to the agenda. Under the consent calendar, additional bills for approval and Public Works meeting minutes for April 6th. Under the City Administrator's report, we have a letter dated May 4th from Lois Beal, reassessments on Blackdoll Road, a resolution to adopt for renewal existing liquor license establishments for 2026 and 27, and a resolution accepting general fund capital grant award to the City of Cross Lake for the National Loon Center. Under commission reports, under Public Works, we have a memo dated May 4th, 2026 from Public Works Commission about the Pinewood Cemetery, and we also have a memo dated May 4th from Public Works about the Seal Coat Trail bid. Under Planning and Zoning, we have scratched the first reading of the ordinance amendment to Chapter 30, property maintenance, and we have added discussion regarding nuisance and property maintenance enforcement. Is there a motion to accept the additions? There's a move by Sandy and there's a second by Robin. Those in favor of the addition signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Public forum. Action may or may not be taken on any issues raised. If council requires more information or time for consideration, the issues will be placed on the agenda of the next regular council meeting. Speaker must state their name and address. At the discretion of the mayor, each speaker is given a 3-minute time limit. Do we have anybody for public forum? Seeing nobody for public forum. Oh, sorry. Come on, Pat. I was flipping and speaking.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I would just like to briefly thank all the volunteers that appeared today around our whole community for the Day of Caring. I personally had a group up at the Corps of Engineers campground. We got a ton of work done. It's a great program. There's a lot of people around the community that had them come and do yard cleanup and do things like that. Sandy showed up and helped us take off lights. Jackson showed up and helped us do a few things. And it was just a great day for volunteerism in the town for cleanup and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody who came and helped.
Thanks, Pat.
Pat, do you want to mention the students who also assisted?
The students?
Yeah.
They're what?
That also assisted.
Oh, yeah, the kids from Day of Caring from the high school.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the program is, all the students in the high school have to put so many hours of community service in, and they used to do it. And had to do and arrange all the stuff all themselves. So they've now turned one day at school where they get the day out of school but have to be serving in the community somewhere. So people apply for the kids to come and they ask how many workers they need and all this. And of course we'll take as many as we can get up there. We got all the Christmas or the green lights down and some of the Christmas lights down. We're getting ready to put red, white, and blue lights up in there. And we started on that. And the kids, we had a total of 8 kids, 4 for 2 hours and 4 for, let's see, whatever, if it's 4 hours, whatever it was. So yeah, the high school kids did a great job, and we had a great group of adult volunteers as well.
They did. They worked hard, and it was cold.
It was cold, and they were whining. By the end, I was a little tired. Suck it up, Buttercup, but it didn't work, so it was good.
Awesome, Pat.
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you for staying involved in our community, too. All right. Anyone else for public forum? Consent calendar. All items here listed are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be acted on by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a citizen or council member so requests. Does any council member have any questions on anything in the consent calendar? Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
There's a motion by Bob. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second by Jamie. Any further discussion on the consent calendar? Seeing no further discussion, those in favor of approving the consent calendar signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Community organizations, there is nothing for this evening. Mayor and council members' reports. Resolution accepting donations. From the PAL Foundation times 3, we have $664.68 for library purchases, $1,019.97 for the raised garden beds, and $2,976.80 for the community center lobby furniture. For the Cross Lake Firefighters Relief Association times 3, we have $2,620.24 for a thermal imager, $5,418.08 for the cold storage building, and $1,644.54 for the rescue helmets. Is there a motion to accept?
I move to accept the aforementioned donations, and I want to sincerely thank the Powell Foundation and the Cross Lake Firefighters Relief Association. They're always on here, and they always are so generous, so.
Awesome. There's a motion to accept the donations as listed. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Rock, paper, scissors over here. We'll give it to Robin this time. There's a second by Robin. Those in favor of approving and accepting the donations signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Memo dated from Pat regarding flags and flagpoles for Town Square. This was kind of continuing conversation. Pat was asked by myself to gather a price for additional flags to poles around Town Square, which would be 26, and then down at the community center for park poles, which is 6, and City Hall, which we have 2, and then 1 replacement Minnesota flag. The cost of these 3x5 nylon grommet flags are $35 each and $42 each for the Minnesota flag from the Falls Flag Source store in Nisswa for a total of less than 10% discount equals $1,109. The second option is the same from Amazon at $1,000. Just wanted to bring this as conversation, and it says, we believe here that the park and city can use budget funds for this, but the city administrator states there is no budget for Town Square area, and perhaps if the council wishes, it could be added to the 2027 budget. No motion required unless council requests a modification to the current budget and to use cash reserves. I'm fine not doing Town Square, but if we want to go elsewhere, I'm all game.
Well, can we make a motion to reserve funds for in 2027 budget?
Of course we could. Yep.
Okay, I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, so are we doing a two-part motion, or are we just doing one and then one? You want to approve and?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make it.
Yeah, I move to approve the funds for the flags that we currently have the budget for, and then also to request funds to the 2027 budget for flags in the Town Square.
There's a motion to accept the flags now and add Town Square in the 2027 budget cycle. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion and there's a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, those in favor of the flags and adding Town Square in the 2027 budget signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. All right, City Administrator.
Good evening. We'd like to start my portion with welcoming Mary from Clifton Larson Allen for the presentation of our audit, and we do have a PowerPoint ready. Thank you.
Welcome, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Nice, friendly, familiar face to see.
Right?
We
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you for having me back.
You're welcome.
No, that's why I sent it over.
We'll just hold off a second here. Pardon me? Yeah, right,
You have a
exactly.
clean copy? I could just throw it on here if you want.
You just want to use the book?
Or do you have she has.
I don't want to show my notes like last year.
I remember that.
If you just have a clean one, I can throw it up here.
Sounds like we're going this way, TJ. If that's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, is it
Excuse me. Take it away,
There
Mary.
we go. Okay, perfect. I'm used to using it, but I don't like to show my notes. So,
We'll go through the PowerPoint. Obviously, you have the bound financial statements, the couple of letters that we issued as well. PowerPoint's just a little bit easier to kind of read and understand, and it gives you more years for comparison. Everything does tie back to the financial statements, and feel free to stop me at any time if you have questions. Definitely can be open dialogue. So we'll go through the agenda, the city audit results, the financial results, and then we'll talk about some key issue or summary items that came from the audit. So overall, an unmodified opinion on the financial statements. So basically a clean financial report. Compliance and internal control, we did have 3 material weaknesses similar to in the past: segregation of duties, drafting the financial statements, and then some material audit adjustments. We are still continuing to work on that. We'll get to a point where it's basically just going to be those year-end entries. And I believe we're really close to there.
Good.
Yep, Minnesota legal compliance, no findings noted there. In the letter, I know we did we talked about a past adjustment related to the lease. So everything was done correctly. It literally just takes twice as much time to run it through the financial statements and record it due to the new standards than to show it government-wide as a leased asset. So for that, it's literally called a PAGI, a past adjustment. And so we're just saying, hey, it's immaterial overall, and we're just not going to record it on the financial statements. Now, the payments are still being made. There's still principal and interest payments being made in the correct accounts and funds. Sometimes we just do that because it's immaterial overall. Any questions on that?
No.
I know it's probably somewhat new. We don't normally have it, but sometimes we'll take that approach instead. Okay, perfect. So page 3, get into some of those numbers. So the governmental funds is going to be all your funds combined, less the sewer. You can see the revenues actually increased, expenditures increased, and then you'll notice fund balance decreased, right? Again, you had quite a bit of capital outlay without issuing bonds. So you're able to cash flow that, and then when the bonds come in, that'll go back into fund balance, and you'll see that go back up. Okay. So the governmental fund revenues, so the same funds here. Notice that taxes did go up a little bit, and then everything else was pretty consistent from prior year. Special assessments went up a little bit. That is going to be due to some of those new prepayments, right, that were paid. So. Okay, perfect. So then page 4, governmental funds expenditures. Capital outlay for the last 2 years, right, pretty heavy project base. And then, so that's where the bonding comes in. We'll help pay for those expenses. We'll get into some more of the details of the increase in general government and public safety in the back, but page 5, then we break out just the general fund here. Again, we talked about that decrease in fund balance, right? It dropped about $1 million. You had planned to issue bonds, right? So basically you came out way worse than budget, obviously, because you had that in your bottom line. So when those bonds come back in, I would expect that fund balance to go back up as well. Okay. Page 6. The 5-year trend here, you can see revenues increased a little bit, expenditures fairly consistent, and then fund balance. So expenditures consistent with 24, right? So when you look at 21 to 23, you can really tell 24 and 25s are really getting into that project and things that are going on. Mm-hmm. So, but again, you set yourselves up to be able to cash flow that. So you were able to hit the ground running, right? And then issue bonds on the back end, and even lower the bond issuance with some of those prepaid special assessments, some of those grants coming in. So actually, you were able to reduce the bonding that you needed to issue. So page 7, you can see the comparisons, 25 expenditures, and then 25 revenues on the right. Again, your capital outlay is really going to skew things here, right, just because it's so significant. And then what's unique about Cross Lake is you're heavily dependent on taxes, right? So you really need that fund balance. Whereas a lot of cities have quite a bit more of that intergovernmental aid coming in.
No LGA here.
Nope. Nope. Okay. So then the next page here, general fund revenues. You can just see, comparisons year over year, taxes going up there, and then miscellaneous items, interest, things like that. Contributions and donations go in there as well. And then special assessments, like we talked about. So since the projects were paid out of general fund for now, we transferred the prepaid specials that are going to help reduce the bonds to general fund to cover the expenses. The rest will actually go in your debt service fund, and those will help pay down the bonds as they come due. So we would expect special assessments to go back down in general fund next year. Page 10, general fund expenditures here. So the dark blue line, general government, did increase. You had metal roof insurance claims that were paid out of that category. And then public safety, a lot of that had to do with increase in wages. And then your culture and rec increased. You had roof repairs there as well, and then also funding for pickleball courts. Some of those expenses are in there as well. Okay. Page 11, we'll get into your sewer fund here. You can see this year sewer charges were less than your operating expenses. You had some spray foam biosolids recorded in those other operating expenses, so that did increase for 25. You did have a net loss overall, but really when you look back to 21, you've been positive every year. So a one-year downturn isn't significant. The next page, 12, sewer fund, your 5-year trend here. Again, just showing that red line, 1 year under, about $13,000 loss this year. Nothing significant to note there, and just keep an eye on it as you go.
Mary, what caused that loss?
I believe it was, so I think I had noted like your increase in biosolids and your spray foam charges.
Oh, was that the spray foam of the insulation on the inside? Yep. Yep, okay.
Those items, not necessarily that would be capitalizable, right? So if it was capitalized, you wouldn't see it in expense, but it's more repairs and maintenance type stuff. So. Okay. Page 13, like to show some of these departments, by expenditures here. So general government, you can see repairs and maintenance pretty significant at 37%. Again, that will change year over year, right, just depending on what's going on there. Page 14, public safety, police being a big chunk of that at 70%, and then fire protection at 30%. Page 15, Public Works. Really small piece of this is engineering, and the rest is maintenance.
Good job, Pat.
Page 16, your culture and rec here. So obviously recreation at high 95%, and then library is going to be 5% of that category.
Nice.
Page 17, just a few other financial highlights. So the financial statements and the state auditor reporting form are both due by June 30th. Obviously, we'll make that deadline. General fund we talked about had a negative change in fund balance. Sewer fund had a negative change in net position of 13,000, as we talked about again. Page 18, capital outlay in the general fund was approximately 2.3 million. So a new assets increase of 2.2 million. Debt service fund increased about 26,000, so definitely collecting enough taxes to pay for those principal and interest payments coming in.
Good.
Okay, so overall you have total debt of 4.5 million that will be paid off, and right now you have about a 1 million fund balance.
Good.
Again, principal and interest payments coming in to pay for that. Okay. General fund, about 1.1 million over budget in revenues, and then 50,000 under in expenditures. Again, so then this looks good, but then you budgeted for bond proceeds and
Right.
other financing sources and uses, so that's not included in expenditures or revenue. So that would be below this line. Okay, so cash on hand of about 7.7 million this year, with expenditures of about 7.2. So definitely able to cash flow some of these projects. Expected change in fund balance to be negative 314 and ended with negative 1 million there. Bond issuance should have been about 1.9 million. So that definitely would have covered that and then put you over top of, you would have been positive on your budget. So this is the amount, the 173,000 of special assessments went to the general fund to help reduce the bond issue. 128,000 from debt service that was going to be paid on the bonds actually came in to help offset those costs. You had about 258,000 more in intergovernmental revenues, and then about 203,000 was earned on interest. General fund has a signed fund balance of about 1 million for capital outlay. Restricted fund balance of 108,000 for public safety, and we talked about debt service fund is stable there. Page 19, the enterprise, so sewer fund, positive cash flow from operating activities. So your operations revenue is covering your operating expenses there. Total restricted cash about 479,000. That's for your debt service. Operating expenses of 875,000, operating revenues of 478,000. So within operating expenses, you have depreciation, which is non-cash, which is why you're cash flowing. You're just not covering all of the depreciation there. So then when you look at it, you're funding that deficit mostly with property taxes. Okay. Sewer fund increased cash by about 163,000. Very minimal capital asset purchases of 76,000, 21,000 in your cash flow from operating, and then you had principal payments about 241,000. So then the offset is your 241,000 of principal payments do not show up as expenses, right? That's directly lowering your debt there. Okay. Yep, so just continue to monitor the sewer fund, just ensure that those rates are meeting what you need for the disbursements going out. Okay, so that was a brief highlight of the year. I didn't know if any follow-up questions.
Any council members have any questions?
I already asked Lori.
Cool,
Okay.
cool. Robin?
Thank you so much for
Bob?
your assessment.
You know, you always say, is it not, don't have more than 6 months cash on hand or whatever? Is that what we've said in the past?
State auditor recommends to have at least 6 months.
At least 6? What are we at?
You're at over a year right now.
Okay, so we're still over a year. Okay. Perfect. Awesome, Mary.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Yep.
So we need a motion to accept the audit? There's a motion to accept the audit. Is there a second?
I will second.
There's a second by Robin. Those in favor of accepting the audit signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Number 2, probationary period completion and status recommendation.
Yes, I would like to inform the council that Jonah Smith has completed his 6-month probationary period, or will on May 17th, and he has received a positive performance review, and I recommend that he receive his step increase.
Does any council member have any questions about that? Is there a motion to accept?
Make a motion that Jonas Smith receive his step increase on May 17th.
There's a motion by Bob, and it sounds like a second by Robin. All right, there's a motion by Bob and a second to accept the promotion and getting out of the probationary period. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Approval of cannabis business registration application.
The clerk has received applications from the Old Wharf and Ox Tavern for the lower potency hemp edible retail registration.
Is there a motion to accept the application?
I'll make a motion to accept the applications.
There's a motion to accept. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
There's a second by Bob. Those in favor of accepting the application signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Letter dated May 4th, 2026 from Lois Beal regarding assessments on Blackdoll Road.
I will refer this one to Shar.
Clerk Nelson.
So we got a call from a Realtor who's helping this elderly woman sell her property. And there's 3 parcels right here. The blue one and then 2 right next to it. And each of them received a $2,200 road assessment.
Even that little blue thing that you couldn't even pitch a tent on?
Yes. So I reached out to Phil, and he reviewed it, and I think we agreed that that little tiny one that you couldn't pitch a tent on probably was an error, maybe. The other 2 are reasonable for their size,
Yeah.
but I think we're looking to maybe
Are we maybe suggesting a
make a correction.
correction? Is a correction a no assessment or a $500? Or what's because isn't there a minimum, or the one that the lowest amount for like an off, second, whatever it was called? Okay.
Because what are the actual measurements of that? Because it says.
It was like .18 acres when I looked it up, and the value is $7,000.
Just,
It says
Yeah.
it requires a 40,000 square foot minimum lot size and minimum 150 foot width. What is the width of this?
Well,
I don't know.
10 feet?
I was gonna say, not even. Okay, well, what about
so we
that?
just, if you're in favor of abating it, then we just need a formal motion to take to the county
Well,
auditor.
Right, while we're here, look at that one just south of it. I mean, that thing's the size of a toothpick. Did that get an assessment? On the back half, towards the west end of the property line, there's a little triangle in there between 720 and 721. If you zoom in on that, there's a little triangle. If we're doing that one, we might as well do the other. No, it didn't?
No, don't do it anymore.
Oh,
Attack what's in front of you.
okay. I just figured it was.
I'll move to.
Motion to abate the,
Okay, I'll second.
All right, there's a motion, there's a second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Those in favor of abating the assessment signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Thank you.
The next item is renewal of liquor licenses. I have received most paperwork from everyone. Actually, I received some paperwork from everyone, just not all paperwork. So
Do you expect to receive that?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, they all want their liquor license renewed.
I'm going to make a motion that pending verification from the county that taxes have been paid and the receipt of all necessarily Format for insurance from license holders. We approve liquor licenses.
I'll second that.
There's a motion, there's a second. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, those in favor of approving all the liquor licenses pending verification from the county signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Thank you. Number 6,
Okay.
resolution accepting the general fund capital grant award for the city of Cross Lake to the Loon Center.
This is just another resolution to satisfy the bookwork for the DNR. So Sarah asked that we just pass this resolution as well.
Is there a motion to pass the resolution?
I'll move to pass the resolution.
There's a motion to pass. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second by Jamie. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, those in favor of accepting the resolution signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
Lori, do you think we're now done with resolutions regarding the, will we? Okay.
Chief Meyer.
Morning, Mayor. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Holy
morning.
buckets, you're just starting your shift.
Jeez. See, that's how tired I am. Good evening, Mayor, Council. First thing on the agenda for me was a contract that I've been working on with the Corps of Engineers Campground for police services. They are short-staffed and don't have the number of rangers they need to patrol the campground later in the evening. Normally, they would be on till like 2 o'clock. They're not able to do that with the number of people they have, so they're gone by 8 o'clock, I believe it is. What they're asking for us to do is basically 1 hour of patrol through the campground each night, which kind of we already have been doing. It is in our city, but this is just guaranteed. Preferably, they'd like us to drive through three separate times between 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning,
But adding up to 1 hour.
equaling up to 1 hour, yes. It would generate some revenue for the city. I think final number was 9,000, where did I saw it. Saw it a minute ago.
$685.
$9,685.20. A little bit cheaper than like our Manhattan Beach contract, but that's because it's in our city and we were already kind of doing it anyway. So we did, after a lot of back and forth, work out everything that would work for the police department and for them. So that's where we sit.
Well, I move to accept the contract. I think, you're already doing it anyway, and we're, yeah.
Right.
So,
There's a motion to accept. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second by Bob. Those in, any further conversation?
Is the rate acceptable for you? I divided it by hours. Looks like it's about $65 an hour.
What was the question? I'm sorry,
Is-
Robin.
Is the contract value enough for you guys to cover your costs?
Yeah, like I said, and that's the reason why it's fairly cheap, is it's already in our city and we are already doing it, most of it anyway. Really what this is gonna add is that we communicate more with them on any problems that might have been, like a noise complaint. It used to be, if we took care of it, we took care of it, but now they wanna know. So it's just a little bit more communication. Next business day, we'll send them a nice little summary of the police report.
Perfect.
It sounds like unless it's an emergency, they don't really expect you to do anything other than just have a presence there. And
Pretty much, yep.
There's a motion. There's a second. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, those in favor of the contract signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
The second thing, we have a radar trailer that we have not used for a number of years now. We have those electronic signs that hang on the signposts. We're able to move them around. The trailer, once we got those, the trailer just stopped being used. Last time we used it was during the 66 road construction with the new sewer. We had put it out there after they put the first pavement in, and while they're still working. We had to put new batteries in it at that time. It has 6 car batteries in it, so it was really expensive. Then it sat for another 4 years in our cold storage building, plugged in, but not used. We pulled it out last summer, put it out on County Road 3. I think it lasted half a day, the batteries did, and it was fully charged, and then it was just shot. It sits in our garage, it takes up space, we don't use it. About 3 years ago, maybe, we tried, we put it on the GovX or one of the websites to try to sell it. Nobody even bid on it. So, we're at our county chiefs meeting today, and I brought it up to the chiefs, and the sheriff actually showed interest in if we were wanting to maybe donate it to the sheriff's office. It would stay in the county, so it still benefit, local citizens and possibly Cross Lake. If we needed to use it for a special occasion, it would be there. Other cities could use it. But the one thing that they thought they could really use it for is that new flock camera system. They do have a portable one, and that could be mounted to that trailer, and it would be put to good use.
I'll make a motion to donate it.
I'll second the motion.
There's a motion, there's a second.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah,
They're interested in taking it. It was just he wanted to know what your guys' thought was, what became of the meeting tonight. And
yeah, no, I think there's a motion, there's a
So-
second, we'll go into discussion. So is there any,
if,
is there any discussion on it?
yeah,
What's the value?
0.
I know
I
nobody
mean, nobody wanted
wants
to
it.
buy it, so, it really can't be used for anything else unless it was stripped down and repurposed, and that would cost money.
Taken to the junkyard,
I'm sure back when it was new,
mobile chicken coop.
they had it when I started here, so they had it, it's been here since at least 2007, probably sooner, I have no idea. They probably paid a couple $1,000s for it way back then.
Cool.
Sounds like
It's
more
not a
valuable.
guarantee that the sheriff's office is gonna take it, but they sounded very interested if it was a donation.
Yeah, there's
so.
a motion, there's a second. Those in favor of donating it to the sheriff's department signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Public Works. Pat.
Mayor, council. First thing on our list was for the city hall building maintenance. We had the 2 bids, one from North Star for $11,600 and Rich's Painting for $1,680.
Oh,
The
Eric.
difference between them is North Star was talking about sealing all their siding that's on the side of the buildings, which has a 50-year warranty on it, so you don't want to touch that. Where all he's gonna do, touch up the staining and seal what needs to be done. He's just basically doing what needs to be done, nothing more. Only thing we gotta add to that is the rental of a lift. That's what, a couple $100, isn't it, Jackson?
Yeah, and we get it
So-
for cheaper because we have a tax ID number, so yes.
How long does Eric estimate it'll take him to do it?
I would say a day or two. It won't take much for him to go around everything down low, and we just have the lift for the stuff up high in front, and there you are, done.
Well, at $60 an hour, he'd have to work 165 hours to even come close to the estimate
Yeah.
from the other company, so.
I don't like the open-ended, you just don't know.
Do you have any
Who,
experience?
for Eric? For
No,
Eric?
he had the bid of 1680, or we could hire him time and material and maybe save some money.
I thought it says plus.
Plus time and material on the memo.
And that's what my understanding was, 1680 was it, plus we had to rent the lift.
Well,
His quote, he says, also I do work for time and material.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had any experience with him? I mean, with.
I have not, to be honest with you. I drove by and seen his sign because he's right by my place, and I thought, why not give him a whirl? He's done work for Camp Knutson
Okay.
and a couple other places. I don't remember that he listed right off.
Checked with
the-
Campton Knutson to see what they thought of him, or what is,
I did not, because it's pretty basic stuff that he's doing here. He's gonna re-caulk around the windows where it needs it.
well, personally, I think we gotta give Eric's a try. That's
I
my
don't care.
opinion, yeah.
Let her rip.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion to accept Eric's bid.
There's a motion to accept Eric's bid, or we're gonna do for the 1680, correct? And that's it? Okay, there's a motion to accept for 1680. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's a second by Robin. Any further discussion? Those in favor of the 1650 signify by saying aye. Aye. 1680 signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
When's he going to start, Pat?
He actually called me yesterday, he wanted to know, I told him we have to wait till after the meeting today.
Hey, Pat,
So-
while we have that lift, if you look when you're coming in, above the peak of the door, where the siding or the metal roof meets, what was it, Char? Was it the siding that we saw just? Right at the peak, it looks like there's a strip of something peeling off the building,
Okay,
so,
we'll check it out.
okay. B, Pinewood Cemetery.
Yes, we need couple new signs and deal that lists the do's and don'ts and everything of the cemetery. If you'd like, we'd like to proceed with that and get it for a budgetary thing for next year.
Would we, if we're gonna do new signs there, should we do a new sign out here in front of City Hall?
It's up to you.
Are
Up
these
to you
signs gonna
folks.
be the ones that look like at the community center down by you?
That's what was kind of proposed.
I'd much rather just, if we could and we have the money, do both.
All
And
right.
get everything looking uniform.
Well,
How much is it per sign?
I don't know, TJ, do you remember what they were?
Out here it will be. Pineview probably only needs one if they're going above. At Pineview, are we doing it so it's perpendicular or parallel or perpendicular to the road?
That's gotta be determined what we want to do there, because,
So they have the old school, metal.
right, got the old metal one, but, you got off the one highway and you got off your side street, so,
I think we only need a sign on the highway.
okay.
So we might as well just see what the estimate is for 2 double-sided signs for the
Yep.
cemetery and for up here.
Okay,
What do you think about that, Administrator?
Should we just put it in as a motion to put it on the budget meetings?
Yes.
And then I'll have the money, or the values figured out for the budget meeting?
Idea.
That's fine.
Also make that motion.
Okay, Robin makes the motion that we look at doing double-sided signs for the cemetery and as well as City Hall, and we're gonna get estimates and put them in the 2027 budget.
Yep.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
There's a second by Sandy. Those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Good job. Seal coat trail bid.
yes, we got all the bids in for that. Only thing we're gonna be pulling out of it is the Harbor Lane stuff.
Okay,
Because I never gave it a thought until Phil pointed it out, that's still under contract with the people that did the job. So we're gonna pull them out. So that'll take 6705 out of the bid. Otherwise, it takes care of seal crack of all the roads, and then trails is listed, Manhattan up 66. I was thinking Perkins was in there too. So it kind of takes care of all our loose ends till next year, then we can finish up all the seal coating on the trails.
do we have, Robin, your quick math. Is there a total amount that we can just approve?
$59. Is it 59?
Okay.
Yes, and Perkins is in there.
Yeah, so,
There's Manhattan, Perkins,
in 66,
66. Also make them. Yep,
Yeah.
the 60,
yeah.
yeah, we
brings
were
us-
under budget by about, what, 4,000?
Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I'll make a motion that we approve the seal coat bid.
There's a motion to approve the seal coat bid by Robin. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second by Jamie. Any further discussion? Those in favor of the seal coat bid signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
Perfect, they're gonna start tomorrow then.
Thanks.
Good job, Pat. All right, planning and zoning. Jody, you're up.
Okay, so we're discussing the nuisance and property maintenance enforcement ordinance changes we're trying to do. It doesn't go through the planning commission because it's not in chapter 26, so we kind of just wanted to follow through, so Jackson.
Oh, yes. So after talking with Jody and after talking with legal, it looks like most of the stuff that we had proposed in the red line of G3A is stuff that we technically already have in the ordinance and we can enforce. It's just we haven't been told or learned or done it before. So we're gonna have a consultation with legal, and then it's gonna be drafted in a form that is ordinance ready, and we're gonna learn how to enforce it. And the only thing we would be adding technically is grass at 8 inches. So that is mainly just for extreme cases, once again. County Road 66 across from Zorba's, so that's what would allow us to clean that up.
And it does kind of say, with the exception of natural.
Yeah,
environment. So a lot
natural,
of
I had
like
a few people reach
natural
out
planting.
and said, well, I have cabin grass and I have wildflower gardens and bee gardens, and of course,
Yep.
that's fine, the no-mow by the lake and whatever, we're all for that. But this is just for excessive blight.
Yep.
So that's where we're at on that.
Okay, so we'll just wait to see what.
We'll
they
just
come up
wait
with.
to see what legal comes back with. If there's any questions, comments, or concerns, or you want to change something, or you want something to be stated, say so now. Go ahead, Sandy.
Well, under, let's see, it's under section 3108, B, and it says, "No dog shall be permitted to run at large within the limits of the city." And I wondered if we could add habitually run at large, because, you know, yeah, I think they're talking about dogs that are always loose or running out, but, I mean, I happen to have a Houdini of a dog who does get out sometimes, I don't know how, and run around, and, you know, the neighbors know that, but I don't want, I mean, I think sometimes that inevitably happens sometimes with dogs, so, I mean, it seems like,
Lock them up.
Well, remember, we had a meeting with the former regime, and that was kind of an entertaining one, so let's not go there tonight.
be more specific about, you know,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, I think I like the word habitually. You know, we don't want to throw any dogs in the back of Jake's squad, so.
Definition of habitually, yep.
Sandy, how many times does your dog
So
get
that's
away?
why we're doing the lawyer, the.
Right. We can have
legal's
Joe
gonna
look into it and get back to us.
Yeah.
Right, to jail.
You don't pick them up anyway, do you?
It's only when it is
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's not necessary, but that kind of jumped out at me because, you know.
I don't think we're gonna lock a dog up or the owners on the first time, so I think we're okay.
Just Milo.
I think we're okay.
Okay.
Jamie, do you have anything?
No.
Bob, do you have anything?
Nope.
Robin, do you have anything? Nope. Nope, okay. You know what to do. All right. Thank you. TJ.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just have two really quick updates for you. We have exciting news. We have a new partnership starting this year with Jackie Whipper of Squirrely Mama. We are going to be hosting at our park Big Fun Tuesdays, Whoville, and other upcoming opportunities that the city can be excited about. So we're really
Awesome.
thrilled with that opportunity, and more to come on that. Second, we just received news yesterday, was it, Lori, that we received, or we are going to receive, $30,000 in Sourcewell Community Benefit Funds to improve the picnic shelter. The current scope and what we want to accomplish is approximately $40,000. I have a couple ideas of where we can come up with the extra $10,000, work with some local agencies to see if they want to support the project, and we'll go from there.
That
But,
went through
Good
fast.
job.
yeah,
Good
thank you.
job.
Really exciting news. So that's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Questions, comments, or concerns for TJ?
Just well done.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good
Appreciate
job. Public forum. Action may or may not be taken on any issues raised. If council requires more information or time for consideration, the issues will be placed on the agenda of the next regular council meeting. Speaker must state their name and address. At the discretion of the mayor, each speaker is given a 3-minute time limit. Anybody for public forum? City attorney report. Jordan, do we have anything today? Oh, he's not even on. Do not pay him. Not on. That's kind of, yeah. All right. Do we have any old business? Any old business, city staff, anything? I was gonna go
New
to new,
business?
I'm going the other way. Any old business, anybody? Okay, new business, Pat, you had something about the meat store in town.
Yes, the meat store owner contacted me during construction. They took out a couple chunks of exposed aggregate concrete, and they put regular concrete back in. He wishes to go back to the exposed concrete, the aggregate concrete. He was hoping the city would help cover some of the cost.
And where's this? On the sidewalk?
On the north side of the building there,
By
there's a couple
Champion?
chunks they pulled out during construction, then they just put regular concrete back in. Because it goes up to the side, it'd be to the west side of the building, and there's one that goes up to a door in the back.
Well, why did they pull out the exposed
Yeah.
to begin with?
During construction, they removed it to give them room to do what they were doing, and then they just put regular concrete back in.
Why
During
would-
construction of the sidewalk? I'm
During,
lost.
of the street there,
Okay, okay,
the street
okay.
when they
Oh,
were.
they didn't
So
do
it's
it
not,
yet.
okay.
Okay.
They
So what
didn't
he's
do it.
hoping for is a little assistance from the city to cover some of the costs. It's $2,000 total cost on it.
Does it look really wonky with the current concrete and
He
the?
wants to put his aggregate back in.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Right.
And make it look contour. City administrator, do we have anywhere that could even be found?
Yes, under street maintenance
Street
fund,
maintenance,
under
yeah.
his department budget.
Phil, is there any, you
Maybe
want to weigh in on
share?
that at all with anything?
Can,
That's
Private
where I'm
property.
getting,
send it back?
send it back to,
Can't we, you haven't brought it to committee yet, right? Because
No.
you just heard about it today. Let's bring it to committee first. I
that's fine. That's fine.
feel like,
Just take it.
Yeah, because I mean, if
Take
he,
it.
if he wasn't responsible for it being
Yeah, this
removed,
needs to be ironed out a little bit. Take it, no
Alright.
worry.
We'll go back to Public Works with it and then.
Sounds
bring it.
great.
and find out the
Roads.
exact cost and et cetera.
Roads, we've always kind of talked about roads. Pat, this goes back to a conversation you and I had 3 weeks ago. Phil, you were in it, about Blackdoll and Tall Timbers tearing apart. Where are we on that exactly after Anderson Brothers looked at it? I guess I'm still not satisfied with the answer.
No, Phil looked at it again. We both went out there
Oh, you
after
did?
Public Works meeting.
Okay, what'd you come up with?
We're reviewing the video from before the work.
Okay.
So we always take a video pre-work.
Smart.
And we are gonna look at that, and then I might end up recommending to the city that we do a bituminous core
Yeah.
to
Check the,
understand if they shorted us on pavement or not,
okay.
or why that, why
Yes.
those happen.
I mean, we've spent so much time and effort and money in making these roads right and looking good. They're gonna look good and they're
So,
gonna
I
be
wanna
built right.
Clear though, the area
Yep.
that Pat showed me yesterday, I looked in the area further towards Backdahl where
Okay.
we go around the curve, and those cracks are pretty massive, and I think they're truly part of that road moving.
Okay.
The stuff that we looked at was more towards Blackjack, and those were in one lane, and those seemed suspicious. And that's what we're looking at.
Well, anything counts.
But
Can I-
can you
as-
get on
as
that
long as-
before they want to start crack sealing some of that tomorrow, but,
Oh, we're not sealing that tomorrow.
no, crack sealing, not seal coating, crack sealing.
Well,
Sealing the
Yeah.
crack.
I don't,
We can get on it quick, but not as quick as you're wanting to move.
I don't
think
think-
you'd hold it off.
They want to get going on it because they got an opening. and-
nope,
I
nope,
think we
nope,
have,
nope, no,
Yeah,
no.
Okay, so we'll hold them off of Backdahl then.
They're
I call
not.
that tall timbers.
Or Tall Timbers.
Well,
I'm
isn't it
sorry.
both?
It's Tall Timbers.
It gets
The
to-
main part is Tall Timbers that has.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Well, which one's Blackjack?
Blackjack it's in Old Log Landing.
Blacksmith?
Is it Blacksmith?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, Blackjack, where? All right.
May I ask Phil a question?
of course,
Phil,
Sandy,
can
go
I ask you
ahead.
a question while you're up there? I believe that Lori already asked you about this, but just for the general public to hear this question and your response. There's been some complaints about some flaking and, of the sidewalk, of the new sidewalks.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And,
Yes.
and Lori said, you said it's because of it being salted so that it can be used in the winter. That's inevitable?
So, I didn't look at it, but what she described is common in areas where you salt. If you've ever seen, a lot of places will, I don't know if you do it at City Hall or not, where they just sprinkle salt in the wintertime, you get a lot of pitting that occurs. I don't know if that's what's happened in the area you're talking about, but that can be the.
Would you mind taking a look at it, Phil? Because, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
we
happy to look at it.
salt around our house, and I haven't really seen any damage, so I don't know if it's the quality of the concrete that was used, or.
Well, the government has, it's,
So-
okay, it's salt. There we go.
Yeah.
It's the salt, and you gotta remember how much salt we were pouring at it to keep it clear this winter.
A couple
It was a bad
things.
winter.
I'm assuming this is related to the roundabout project?
Oh,
area?
yes.
Okay, so the county administered that, they're gonna have a certain time frame on that project. For instance, when we do kind of the reconstruction of the city, we always add a 2-year warranty on the backside of it. So project gets done, we continue to monitor things for 2 years. There's this, the old saying is concrete is gonna crack no matter what in Minnesota. That's the way it is. But the flaking and stuff like that, we'll get we'll bring that to a contractor's attention. And the first thing I'll say is it's the salt. You put salt down, or the county puts salt down, and it's spraying on here and stuff like that. But there are times when, we have pretty good records. It's kind of off the right of way, off the road, and someone will be like, I did this work and it's flaking off. And that can be related to the mix and how they finished it. They can over-finish,
That potash.
finish it, and they can create that popping. So I'm happy to look at it.
Okay, that'd be
But,
great.
You want to look at it,
Couple
knock
of things
yourself
are,
out.
I just want to point out, you might be beyond a warranty window.
Probably.
Maybe we can
And the
use that
first
blight
words-
ordinance.
The first words out of the contractor's mouth is gonna be, well, is this adjacent to the county road? Yeah. Well, do they salt? Yeah. Do they salt heavy? Probably, because the residents demand ice and snow be gone.
Yeah.
But I don't know what this is. This is, yeah, that's, I know about them. They were nearly divided.
Huh?
Unless you want me to call you, which this is.
Exactly. It's that potash. Stupid potash mix that they changed. Okay, is there anything else for Mr. Phil here? Seeing nothing for Phil, I'm making a motion that we close the rest of this city council meeting to describe health data. Is there a second?
A second.
There's a second, there's a motion, there's a second to close the public city council meeting to discuss private health data. So this meeting is now closed. So I have to ask all of you to please leave.